Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack the absolutely fascinating transformation of India's pharmacy profession. We'll be tracing its journey from what was essentially a historical Wild West of unregulated medicine all the way to the highly sophisticated, heavily regulated medical shield that protects public health today. Here's our roadmap for today. We're covering historical chaos, the legal foundation that finally fixed it, the central architects who set the standards, the state managers enforcing them, and wrapping up with the actual process of becoming a registered pharmacist. Let's get to it. Section 1. The historical chaos. We really need to set the stage here to understand exactly why these strict legal frameworks were necessary in the first place. Now, I want you to really think about this for a second. What actually happens when a country has absolutely zero laws controlling its medicines? Today, we totally take safe, reliable medication for granted every time we walk into a pharmacy. But flashback a century ago, this was a massive real-world crisis. Back in the early 20th century, pretty much anyone could literally just open up a chemist shop. No degree required, no license, nothing. And after the First World War, things got bad. The Indian market was suddenly flooded with cheap, imported drugs. Because there was zero legal oversight, a lot of these drugs were vastly inferior, totally substandard, and in many cases actively harmful. It spread like wildfire, triggering a massive public outcry. I mean, people were literally getting hurt by the exact substances that were supposed to heal them. Let's move along and see how this builds over time. It starts way back in 1811 when a Mr. Bathgate opened the very first chemist shop in Calcutta. Fast forward to 1918, and firms like Smith Stanistreet began large-scale manufacturing. But as that post-World War I crisis really peaked, the government realized, okay, we have to step in here. In 1931, they appointed the Drug Inquiry Committee, led by Colonel R.N. Chopra. And it was the deep, thorough investigations by this committee that ultimately laid the groundwork for the most important milestone of all, passing the Landmark Pharmacy Act in 1948. Which brings us perfectly into Section 2, the legal foundation. This is the moment the modern era of safe medicine truly begins. The whole mindset of this new era is anchored by this famous Latin legal maxim, ignorantia juris non excusat, meaning ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You see, in the pharmacy profession, not knowing the rules isn't just a simple oops moment. It can literally be a matter of life and death. The government had to establish undeniable, concrete rules that every single practitioner had to know and follow to protect the public. And the solution to that was the Pharmacy Act of 1948. But actually, it's really important to understand that this act wasn't just designed as a way to punish bad actors. Not at all. Its core objectives were to actively regulate the profession, genuinely raise the status of pharmacists in society, and constitute the Pharmacy Council of India. It was all about elevating the entire field so that you and I, the public, could completely trust the person standing behind the pharmacy counter. Let's take a closer look at that council in Section 3, the central architects. These are the folks at the federal level setting the national standards. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown of the massive 79-member Pharmacy Council of India, or PCI, is how its true nature is revealed. You've got 51 nominated members, 25 elected, and 3 ex officio. This heavy reliance on nominations, pulled from places like the University Grants Commission, the AICT, and state governments, proves the PCI is designed to be this highly specialized brain trust. We're talking top-tier medical and academic experts. You might be wondering about that small slice of ex officio members. To translate the legalese here, these are individuals who hold their seats on the council automatically simply because of the other major government roles they hold. A great example? The Director General of Health Services sits on this council. This setup basically ensures that top-level administrative officials are constantly bringing their external expertise and government alignment, right, into the council's decision-making process. So, what do these central architects actually do on a daily basis? Well, their functions are sweeping. They actively regulate pharmacy institutions nationwide. They rigorously frame the absolutely critical education regulations. They literally hold the power to approve or completely disapprove university courses and exams. Plus, they handle the recognition of foreign qualifications, and they meticulously maintain the ultimate master list, the Central Register of Pharmacists. Basically, they are the supreme guardians of pharmacy education across all of India. And this brilliantly illustrates the rigor of those education regulations. Just look at the mandates for the very first part of a diploma in pharmacy. We are talking about an exact, non-negotiable 75 hours of theory and 75 hours of practical work for pharmaceutics. The exact same for pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy, and so on. This isn't just some casual suggestion. It's a rigorous, legally mandated academic gauntlet. Why? To guarantee unparalleled public safety. Moving right along to Section 4, the state managers. Because, let's be real, having a national blueprint is great, but you still need someone to actually build the house on the ground. That's where the state pharmacy councils, or SPCs, come in. They're the ones actually enforcing these rules. Their composition mirrors the Central Council, but it's scaled down for local enforcement. You have 6 elected pharmacists, 1 member from the State Medical Council, 5 nominated by the state government, and 3 ex officio members, like the state's chief medical officer. It's a locally tailored group, fully responsible for enforcing regulations and maintaining the actual day-to-day working register of pharmacists within their specific state borders. But hold on, what if a state is just too small? Or maybe it lacks the administrative resources to run its own dedicated council? Well, the law provides a brilliant, flexible solution for that, called the Joint State Pharmacy Council. It's a cooperative agreement where 2 or more states essentially team up and share a single council. They pool their resources and personnel to fulfill all their regulatory needs. It ensures that absolutely every single region, no matter its size, has rigorous oversight. All right, let's wrap this up with Section 5, becoming a registered pharmacist. It's time to bring all this vast legal bureaucracy down to the personal journey of an individual student. From a historical perspective, how did a state even get started if they didn't have a council yet? Well, they used something called the First Register. The state government would appoint a temporary registration tribunal, usually just 3 people and a registrar. This small team would evaluate the initial wave of applications and set up the very first official list of legal pharmacists. It acted as the crucial bridge, allowing a state to transition from zero regulation into a fully functioning regulatory body. So the crucial point is, how does it work today? Well, it's an incredibly demanding 4-step journey. First, a student absolutely must graduate with their diploma in pharmacy and complete a massive 500 hours of practical hospital training. Second, they formally submit their application and fee to their state pharmacy council. Third, the registrar conducts a strict, fine-tooth comb verification of all their qualifications. And finally, step 4, if everything checks out perfectly, they earn their entry into the state register and the legal right to practice. We've seen an incredible journey today, haven't we? From the completely unregulated, downright dangerous chaos of a century ago, straight to the meticulous, multi-layered safety shield that the Pharmacy Act provides us today. But as we finish up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought. With a system this heavily regulated to protect us from the physical, brick-and-mortar chaos of the past, how will these councils adapt to control the online, completely borderless pharmacies of the future? It's absolutely the next great frontier for pharmacy law. Thank you so much for diving into this with me today. Keep your curiosity sharp, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.